everyone, and welcome back to another video with DIYs by Carolina. So as you guys can see, I am actually standing here in my front yard. I'm just going to kind of give you guys a quick little overview. So we are actually going to be starting my front yard series, and this is actually going to be part one. I don't know how many parts we're going to do in this series because quite frankly, there is so much more to do in the front yard than it was in the backyard. So guys, who knows? So we're just going to go ahead and give you guys a quick overview of the entire space. I'm going to tell you guys all the different projects that I'm planning on undertaking. Some of these projects might end up being individual videos, sort of like what I did in the backyard, but we are going to go ahead and just kind of, maybe try to finish up as much as we could in this series. So we are actually approaching the month of August, which is the hottest month in South Carolina, and they're actually predicting temperatures in the triple digits. So with that being said, I definitely want to get as many of these projects in the front yard completed before it gets extremely hot, because I know I just won't be able to stand the heat. And then whatever projects we don't complete, hopefully in the early part of fall, hopefully we'll be able to complete a lot of those projects. But for right now, we're going to try to get as much done as we can and in this part one series, and just try to hope for the best. Okay, you guys, so we're going to start first by taking a quick overview of the entire front yard space. So here's a 360 overview of my entire front yard. There's the highway. So this is the area I'm going to start cleaning first. This is a flower bed that's located right next to the gate of the entryway of my backyard space. So I'm going to clear out everything and just pull out a lot of these weeds and take out a lot of these flowers and just make everything look really nice and clean in this space. So right quickly, you guys, I want to show you. So right here, this is a bunch of weeds right here. All of this is weeds. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all of those out. And I think I'm going to leave these beautiful purple looking flowers because I really do like these. But what I think I'm going to do is just trim them down really, really low. So then that way, hopefully they'll spread instead of getting taller. But I do like the color of these and the look of them. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just clean out this little flower bed. You just rake out all these leaves and everything. And then I'm just going to mulch this area. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and just kind of weed eat a little bit. You see how high the grass is here? So I want to weed eat and kind of edge this up a little bit. And then afterwards, I want to go ahead and add some weed barrier fabric to this, just to kind of prevent the weeds from coming in. And then afterwards, I'm going to give it a little light dusting of mulch. I don't want to pack the mulch too heavy on this, because if you guys will notice here, the soil comes up pretty high against the brick edging. So I don't want to pile on too much mulching to where it's going to spill over out of the flower bed onto the walkway space. So we're just going to give it a little light dusting of the mulching, and that should pretty much complete this area. So let's get started with that. All right, you guys, so we've already added the weed barrier. So now I'm going to go ahead and give it a little nice light dusting of the mulch. Okay, you guys, so here's a quick look after everything has been mulched. So as you guys can see, the area looks completely different. So it's amazing what a little bit of mulching and then just trimming the hedges or the flowers, it makes such a huge difference. This area here is completed. I love the way this looks. The only other thing I may do later on is I may pressure wash the bricks so that they're all the same color, because you can see how some of them look a little dirty or whatever. So that'll be the only other thing that I'll do here. But other than that, this is one space already completed in the front yard series, part 1. Awesome. So here's the next project I'm going to be starting on. I'm going to be landscaping around these trees, just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, removing all the weeds and all the debris. And then I'm going to come through later on, probably not in this series, but later on I'm actually going to come through and mulch around these trees as well. Okay, you guys, so it's starting to get dark. It's like 9 p.m. But I just wanted to show you guys the first tree. So I managed to get up all the grass and the weed and trim it up pretty good. So let me just kind of, yeah, so here's what it's looking like now. And here's all that stuff that came from it. So we got all this whole pile here came from that one tree. All right, so now we have to do the other tree. And because it's so late, I'll start on this tomorrow, but here's what the other tree is looking like. So we're pretty much going to do a lot of the same. We're just going to clean it up real nice and neat and basically just kind of trim it up a little bit. Let me get back a little bit so you guys can see the entire thing. So we're going to trim it up real nice and clean out around the flower bed portion of it. And I'm going to actually add some mulching to this and just edge it up real nice around the brick area as well. So yeah. Okay, you guys, so it is the next day and I've cleaned around the other tree. So I've already removed all the weed, all the debris, so everything is nice and clean. And so, like I mentioned before, I will be mulching around both of these trees later on. All right, you guys, so the other project I want to undertake in this part 1 series of the front yard makeover is I want to go ahead and remove the hedges from in front of my front porch. These hedges are about 6 or 7 feet in height. They've been here ever since I bought my house, which was over 10 years ago. So these are so huge, and that's why I'm only going to be able to get to one side of the flower bed instead of both sides, because just removing these hedges is a job in itself, and I'm going to try my best to remove both of them. So before I get started with removing the hedges, I first want to go ahead and clean up that one side of the flower bed, and then afterwards I'll go ahead and get started with removing both hedges. All right, you guys, so now we're about to go ahead and cut out these oak trees that are growing up in my flower bed. I think these are oak trees. If you guys know the name of these, let me know in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and clear all of those out. Y'all wish me luck. I hope I don't run into a snake in this flower bed. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So what I'm doing right now, you guys, is trimming up all of the hedges to ensure that none of them are actually hitting up against the side of the house. And this is basically going to ensure that I have a clear pathway and that I have a good visual of what's back there, and I won't get any surprises like a snake or anything, because you guys remember how congested this area was in the beginning. So all of this branches and weed and everything, all of this came from back there in that little corner. So it was a lot of those little oak tree things or whatever. So now this area looks much nicer, much cleaner. So yeah, let's continue. All right, you guys, so this is what it's looking like right now. I absolutely love the way this looks. It's such a nice clear passage. None of the bushes or the hedges is hitting up against the house, which is exactly what I wanted. And so what I did basically was, let me show you guys here. I actually went ahead and just kind of cleaned up the mulching a little bit in here. And then I just redistributed it because it was so much mulch and I didn't want to just throw it all away because I could reuse it. So in certain areas where it's a little bare, I'm just going to add additional mulching. And so that's basically all I'm going to do in those bare spots. But for the most part, I really love the way this looks. Everything is trimmed up nice and neat. It's not blocking the window. It's not rubbing up against the house, which is definitely perfect and ideal. So here's the other thing that I'm going to be doing. So right here, I've already started with trying to trim down this hedge. At first, the plan was just to make it smaller and just kind of prevent it from bulging out into the walkway, because you guys probably can't tell because I've trimmed most of it off, but it would literally bulge out into the walkway area. So I decided that instead of trimming this up, I'm going to actually remove the hedges because, again, I really don't want it blocking the window. So I'm going to remove that hedge as well as this one. So both hedges on side of the porch or the front porch or whatever, I'm going to just remove them. So I wanted to show you guys this saw. It's a cordless pole saw that I bought from Home Depot. It's by the Ryobi brand. So pretty much all of my tools are made by Ryobi. So here's what it looks like here, and I'm going to use this to actually cut down both of the hedges. And I'll have the information linked in the description on where you can purchase this. Hot. Okay, you guys, as you can see, I have finally removed the hedge. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the flower bed on the opposite side of the house. And already I absolutely love the way it looks. So as you guys can see, I've already removed one hedge and I'm about to remove this one here. So I absolutely love the way this is looking. You can see the entire window. The hedges are not blocking the windows. So that's perfect. So we're going to go ahead and work on this side of the flower bed. All right, you guys, so here's a quick overview of the front porch space without the hedges, and I'm absolutely loving the way this looks. I wish I had done this a long time ago. Both of the hedges were actually rubbing up against the windows. They were tearing up the window screen, and so I just love the way it looks. So I'm just going to basically mulch this area, and don't forget, I still have to clean off this side of the flower bed, and I'll do that in the part 2 series. But for right now, I'm just going to mulch this area, and I'll do that in part 2, and maybe just plant like a really nice flower here. But for the most part, this is done. I'm absolutely loving the way this looks. Okay, you guys, so this actually brings us to the end of part 1 in the front yard makeover series. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and all of the different projects that we undertook, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video, which will consist of part 2 of the front yard makeover, where we'll go ahead and finish adding the mulching and then finishing up the other part of the flower bed and then undertaking some additional projects. So again, my name is Carolina, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. It is such a great pleasure having you guys here, and I would absolutely love to have you join my family of subscribers. And as always, to my existing subscribers, welcome back, you guys. It's always such a great pleasure having you guys here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.